All right, so we are going to discuss another unique topic. Now, let me tell you the entire flow of next, 3, 4 lectures. And also, I wanted to tell you that in the coming Navratris, starting from Sunday, Monday onwards, we might have regular 6 or 7 classes in the Navratris every night, right at around 9:30 p.m. We will have 7 classes or 8 classes regularly, consecutive days. Okay, and the energy is very, very high in the Navratris, and I hope that you all will be, some of you will be keeping fasts. So, having a class at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the night, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour of class will be very, very good. So if we take 8 classes during the Navratris, you'll be able to cover the syllabus worth 2 months. तो 2 महीने का जो syllabus है that will be covered, within those 8 to 9 days. And I always do this during the Navratris. We take classes, so I plan to take Nakshatra and Jyotish Acharya classes in the coming Navratri. So you'll enjoy that journey with me, with the grace of Ma Durga. All right, so the flow is I'm going to tell you something unique, with regards to Rahu and Ketu today, and then we'll move on to explanation of how the Rashis were assigned the planets. Okay, so how Mesha was assigned Mangal and Taurus was assigned Venus. How did this concept have come from? Then we will also discuss about the Mula Trikona and the own sign principles in the Jyotish. And then the next lecture would be, there's a formula, there's a technique to calculate the friendliness and the enmity of the planets. So that is something we'll discuss, in the fourth class. So the first class would be understanding some exceptions of Rahu and Ketu. Then the second class would be how planets are assigned to the Rashis. The third class would be Mula Trikona and own sign lordships. And the fourth class will be based on the Mula Trikona and own lordships. We will discover a formula to find the friendship and the enmity of the grahas, which makes the position of a particular planet favorable or not favorable in a particular horoscope. So next 4, 5 lectures in continuity are very, very important. You'll be able to learn so many basics, and when you apply them in your horoscope, you will seriously, seriously be able to understand a chart. Okay, so now I must tell you that this Rahu and Ketu principle will also help you to understand Yog Karak and Marak Grahas. This will also help you to understand the Badak Grahas, and this will also help you to understand the friendliness and enmity of Rahu and Ketu in a particular chart. So, it's very, very important, because what I believe is that, Rahu and Ketu, if you can understand in a Kundli, you can understand so many things about a particular native. You see, Vishnuji is Sola Kala Sampurna, So Sola Kala Sampurna means he has 16 wonderful qualities which make him the chief execution officer or chief executing officer of this universe. He's a sustainer. He has that capability after Shiva. Shiva is on the top. Shiva is at the highest level. And the problem is that Shiva is not concerned. Shiva is not concerned. The only force, only energy, which is concerned about you and me in this Kali Yuga is Jagannath, is Vishnu. Right. That is why every time we start a class, we say Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Please come with us and help us to understand this beautiful subject and the most difficult subject of this universe known as Jyotisha. You see, do you think that Rahu and Ketu were created out of an accident? The answer is no. I'll tell you the story. So the story is the story of the Sagar Manthan. If you go and check the story about Sagar Manthan, you know, this is where you have, you know, Devatas and Asuras waiting to churn the Sagar and waiting for that Amrit to come out. Now, if there was an understanding between the Rahu, the Asuras and the Devatas, if that understanding would have not been there, it would have been a battleground. It would have, turned into a battleground, and some of the Asuras and Devatas would have been killed. So they come to an understanding that when the Amrit comes out, we will divide it 50-50. So Asuras will have 50% of the Amrit and the Devatas will have 50% of the Amrit. But I must tell you that you should know that how many of the Devatas were there and how many of the Asuras were there when this particular Sagar Manthan was happening. So I must tell you that there were 54 Devatas and there were 54 Asuras, who were participating in this Manthan. So you see, there is this Vasuki Sheshnag who's behaving like a rope, right? And the churning is happening. And when the churning is happening, when the Amrit is about to come, Devtas are little selfish. They're always, always selfish. So they did a trick. They planned that they will plan a party for the Asuras. They will offer them some drinks and dance and DJ. So let them be busy there and we will drink all the nectar. So entire, this Amrit and the Asuras will never ever become, immortal. So they did that and they were successful and the Asuras were busy partying. But there was one Asura named as Swarbhanu. So this Swarbhanu was a very intelligent one. So he changed his rupa, he changed himself to look like a devata. And he stood in the queue and, he just had the nectar. He just had, that Amrit. Now, my question here is, if Vishnu is Sola Kala Sampurna, Sola Kala means 16 qualities, the highest quality that a soul can have. They are 16 in number. That is why in a horoscope, when you have those important 16 divisional charts, they are nothing but they are the 16 qualities of Vishnu. Remember them. When you will learn the Shodashtak Chakra, they are the 16 qualities of Krishna, explained through various charts in your horoscope. Now, that super, super, super soul, do you think that soul named as Vishnu is not aware that Swarbhanu has changed his attire and he's looking like a Devata and is standing in the queue and Vishnuji didn't knew it? Do you think this is possible? The answer is no. It is not possible. He knew. Vishnuji knew that when the souls will be in this vicious circle of life and death, the soul will carry some desires to the next life. When the soul gets the next body, that soul will have certain biomemories. That soul would have accomplished few things in his life or in her life. And there were some hopes, wishes, and desires, some unfulfilled desires that are pending. The soul will carry that energy. But who will help that soul to carry that energy? All the Saptagrahas, the 7 planets, they denied. Vishnuji knew that this responsibility is a difficult one. Because if the planets would be busy on working on your mind, on your brain, who will take this responsibility? Who will have that final satisfaction, that headlessness, that faith, to get that moksha? You see, you need to be headless to get moksha. You need to be headless to follow a guru. You don't use your brain when you're following a guru. If you use your brain when you're following a guru, you will get nothing out of the guru. Nothing. That's the principle of Ketu. You see, when someone is completely dedicated and surrendered headlessly to a guru, to a teacher, that is the time when someone actually learns. Imagine this whiteboard that you can see on the screen right now. If it is already filled with your thoughts and the principles that you learned from YouTube, what will I teach? Nothing. It's already filled. I have no space to write anything in your brain. You've got to be headless to attain the ultimate knowledge, to reach to an ultimate stage known as moksha, where knowledge is in the form of light, where no one is communicating with no one. You communicate everything without saying a single word to each other. That is known as pure knowledge. And that is known as Shivaloka. So Vishnuji is very much aware. He knows that this is Asura in the form of Devata standing in the queue. Let him stand. Lagne do, line mein lagne do. Vishnuji is saying himself from inside. He's saying, let him be in the line. And then he knew that there'll be 2 planets which are actually representation of Shiva and Shakti, Mahadev and Parvati, which is sun and moon. They will get certain type of ego in this Brahmanda. And it will be very much important to break their egos. And the only 2 Shaktis that can break the ego of sun and moon is Rahu and Ketu. Remember this. If there's any force in this entire universe that can lower down the energy of sun and moon in your horoscope, there's nothing but Rahu and Ketu, which I'll prove right now. How does this work? You see, Swarbhanu has just taken a sip of the Amrita, and then the sun and moon, they got a visualization. Oh, he's an Asura. Why not Jupiter? Why not Mercury got that realization? Why not Saturn got that realization? Because Vishnuji had worked only on the brains of sun and moon. Vishnuji wanted that sun and moon should inform him that this is something which is odd that has happened between us. So Vishnuji takes his Sudarshan Chakra and just chop off the head. The head becomes immortal Rahu, and the body becomes immortal Ketu. Now, when the Swarbhanu was slaved, you know what happened? He had his bio memory that who told Vishnu about Swarbhanu. So he had that bio memory that it is sun and moon who's given this information to Vishnuji. So he says that in the years and light years to come, until the Pralaya, if we get opportunity to come near to sun and moon, we will make pitri doshas. We will make eclipse. हम ग्रहण लगाएंगे. We will not forgive sun and moon. We will break their egos in the kundli. We will carry those bio memories of the humans as well. And we will make every single human being impure. Let's see. How does this work? We will do it. And this is what Krishna, this is what Vishnuji wanted. Because how will you define purity? You can only define purity if you have impurity. You can only define something good when you have bad. You can only differentiate between a good fragrance and a smell if both of them are available. And Vishnuji knew that you know what? This is going to happen. There will be asuras, there will be devatas, there will be people who knew that this is right, this is wrong. Look at your brain. Don't you think when you're doing wrong, your brain knew it? You know when you're doing wrong. Simple. You just overlook it. You just let it go. You just pass by. But when you're doing right, your brain knows that you're doing right. And that is how all the planets work. All the planets of this universe, all the grahas are just working on your mind. And if you can control your mind, you can control your planets. This is what Muni Parashara says. If Rahu wants to destroy your day or your health by working on your mind that you should go and have a drink outside and don't learn Jyotish. And if you say, no, I'll not have my drink. I'll go to a temple today. I'll read some Bhagavad Gita. I'll read some Shiv Mahapuran today. You just controlled Rahu. You just controlled a negative energy. And if you say, okay, I'll do that early morning tomorrow, let me go and have my drink today. The Rahu worked and you failed. Let me go and slap this person, a tight slap. How dare my wife say something wrong to me and my children? How dare my husband spoke to a lady? I'll just go and slap this person right away. I'll just show him the ground or I'll show her the ground right away. Who worked on your brain? Ketu worked on your brain. When you fight with someone without having a second thought, it's not Rahu, it's Ketu. It's Ketu which is working. So if you can control your mind, no grahas will be able to influence or will be able to affect you. Muni Parashara has never considered Rahu and Ketus as grahas. He has always considered Rahu and Ketu as energies. So you see, first understand this Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is the head and Ketu is the body. Rahu does not have any equipment or any source or any body part to fight. He doesn't have it. So what does that mean? This line that I'm going to speak is very, very important. What does that mean? It means that Rahu will run away from the fights. Rahu will make others fight. You see, there is an army of the Asuras and there is an army of the Devatas. The king of the army of the Devatas, the Senapati of the army of the Devatas is Kartikeya, Murugan. And the Senapati of the Asuras is Rahu. What is the difference between Rahu and Murugan? The Murugan, Kartikeya, will fight when it is required and he's not going to give up. Rahu is going to make other Asuras fight and he will run from a given situation. There is no doubt about it. I must tell you that, right? Because Rahu is a kind of an energy which is deceptive, dhokha, cheating. He's not intentionally cheating anyone. How has this word cheating come from? You see, when you don't have your hands, when you don't have body, when you don't have your legs and feet, and you are ordered to fight with someone, how will you fight? Think. You cannot fight. You would want to run away from that particular situation. But the problem is that Rahu has got his eyes and ears and brain. So when you have your eyes and ears and brain, you can see everything. And if you can see everything, you want everything. And if you want everything, you become possessive about that particular thing in life. Now, look at this push and pull. Look at this nonsense situation. You want everything. You're looking at everything. You can taste everything. You can hear everything. But you can't fight for it. You run away from that fight. How difficult, confusive state is this? This is total confusion. Imagine a situation that you want to win over everything without fighting. Without making an effort, you want the money to come. Guruji, will I get a lottery? Meri lottery lag jayegi. The moment I read this question in the questionnaire of the consultations, I understand the impact of Rahu, in the native's mind. What has this Rahu done with him? Guruji, will I be getting a lot of money in the share market? Does my horoscope allow shares? You know why people want to work around shares? It's easy money. It's easy money. The hard work is only by using your brain and collecting the information about business of this universe. Which company is doing good, which company is doing bad, and the estimate that this company will do good, this company will do bad. You invest in that company and get profits. People call it in a very polished way that this is knowledge of the market. This is market research. This is research and development. This is very organized. The answer is no, this is not organized. Of course, this is market research, but this market research fails. And I've seen people committing suicides just because they lost so much money in the shares. Because it was easy come, easy go. I get consultations, I get emails that I earned within a day so much, and I lost everything. The doubled in 1 month. Guruji, why did this happen to me? ये क्यों हुआ मेरे साथ? Why? This is all Rahu. Vishnuji knew that people in Kali Yuga, people in other yugas as well, will have a frame of mind where they want everything. They'll be very, very possessive, but they would want to do nothing about it. But there will be situations where they can't see anything, they can't hear anything, they can't taste anything, they don't know anything, but they are still fighting. They are super brave about that situation. And that is where the Ketu will come in the picture, because Ketu has that body to fight. He has that gun in his hand. He has that sword in his hand. And without looking at anyone, without hearing anyone, without tasting any particular, fragrance of life, he's just fighting, just killing everything. That's what Ketu is. So what do you learn? How do you apply this in a particular horoscope? Open your horoscope. Open your Kundli. See where your Rahu is. Look which house is your Rahu sitting. You see, if you have Rahu in the 4th house and Ketu in the 10th house, be it any Rashi. We'll talk about Rahu being comfortable or Rahu being not comfortable in a particular sign. We'll talk about all these things later. I'm just talking about the bhavas, the expressions, the houses. Houses are the expressions. Houses are the expressions of your mind. The houses are the expressions that you get on your face in a given situation. That is where your house is. That is what your house is. And you've got Rahu in a particular house. Wherever you have Rahu in your house, you cannot live without that particular thing in your life. You're so possessive. All your possessiveness of your horoscope is where your Rahu is. Look, where is your Rahu? If you have Rahu in the 4th house, you're very, very possessive about your mother, the comforts of your life, your heart, your home, your family. But I'm sorry to say, you're also very, very confused about that house, and you may not be able to do much about it. And if there is a terrible situation with regards to the 4th house, rather than you fight, you would want to run away. That's the story of Rahu in your Kundli in a particular bhava. And if you have Ketu in a particular house, you will become super brave in that particular house. Imagine you have Ketu in the 10th house. Imagine. What will this Ketu in the 10th house do? It is going to make you super brave about your profession. Any single day you're going to leave, you're going to kick your profession and you're going to jump into Jyotisha. You're going to jump into something that you like the most. Because wherever your Ketu is, you are extremely brave about or in that particular house bhava of your horoscope. Let's talk about all the 12 houses. Let's talk about. Let's think. What if you have Rahu? Okay, before I go there, let me just change this situation. Imagine you have Ketu in the 4th house and you have Rahu in the 10th house. We've just reversed the situation. You see, when you have Ketu in the 4th house, You are super brave about your family. You are also going to behave headless with your family. You cannot squeeze this person. If you have a child at home who has Ketu in the 4th house, I'm warning you people, don't squeeze this person. If you try to squeeze this person is going to retaliate. He's going to give you a hard time with Ketu in the 4th house because he's headless. He's that soldier who has LMG in his hands and he has orders from his command to fire. So he's going to fire headlessly. He's not going to think what he's doing. He's just gonna pull the trigger and keep firing. That's what Ketu in the 4th house is. But if you have Rahu in the 10th house, you are going to be super, super possessive about your work. You would want to achieve promotions. You would like to do wonders in the life when it comes to your profession. But you would want to also run away from your profession. You would say, oh, I don't want, in the end of the day, you would say, let me find something else. Let me be an entrepreneur. I'm done with this job. I can't do it anymore. But next day morning, you will be the first one to reach office because you don't have that guts to go away from your profession. And you want everything to come in your profession. But again, in the evening, you would want to run away. You see, Rahu creates such push and pull. Rahu creates such situations where you are in the confusive mind. Look at what happens when you have Rahu in the Lagna and Ketu in the 7th house. It is again a very, very dangerous situation, ladies and gentlemen. Rahu in the Lagna is going to make you super intelligent. You will have curiosity to know everything in this world. But if we put you in a situation to do those things, you might run away from yourself. These are the people who are intelligent, but they would want to run away. They will have that confusion in mind. Should I have this thing in my life or should I have that thing in my life? But when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to marriage, they are going to be super brave. They are going to tell the life partner that, look, if you love me, no matter the entire world is against us, I will marry you. Don't you worry. That's headlessness. That's when you would die for your partner. Be it your business partner, be it your anyone, be it your anyone. Rahu in the Lagna, very intelligent, but also you would want to run away from yourself. Always. It is a hard time to connect to yourself when you have Rahu in the Lagna. But when you have this vice versa, Ketu in the Lagna, you will have so many self-talks. You're talking to yourself whole day. You're making plans. You're very brave about yourself. You're extremely brave about yourself. You are headless. You don't feel pain. When you go out for a run, even if your heart is coming in your mouth, you will still run another kilometer. You will push yourself to the limits if you have Ketu in the Lagna. Because you are fearless about yourself, your body, your brain, your character. But on the same time, if you have Rahu in the 7th house, you're very, very confusive, as well as possessive, as well as run away from your married life, from any sort of partnerships. That's push and pull. You're so strongly in love with your spouse. You're so strongly attached with your spouse. And on the same time, you also want to run away. At times, you just want to be free. You want to be just by yourself. You want to be your own soul. That's what this position do. It is making you possessive as well as in an illusionary world as well as confusive. But Ketu in the Lagna is making you super brave about yourself. Super, super brave. Imagine having Rahu in the second house and Ketu in the eighth house. Rahu would want everything in this world. Rahu would want to eat everything. Because second house is your food, your taste buds. Second house is wealth, family. So these people would want to equitize a lot of wealth. They have that craze of money. I would not say greediness because there are various aspects of various planets. It also depends upon what nakshatra Rahu is, what pada of that nakshatra Rahu is, but on the same time, it will make you possessive about wealth. But when you ask this person, would you like to do anything about the wealth? Well, I'm thinking, I'm trying, I'll do this, I'll do that. But the real effort is missing. But when you will see the charts of billionaires and millionaires, those people who've made it big, they will have actually the opposite thing. The Ketu in the second house and Rahu in the eighth house. Why? Because this is going to make you a kind of a person who is going to make headless efforts. Without thinking, you are going to start work. You see, if you are in a particular profession and if you're thinking of that money, you will never be successful in that profession. Suppose you are an astrologer and you think that today I will earn this, I'll earn this, today I want this money, that money, without giving your 100% focus on helping someone and teaching and guiding someone, you're not going to make money. Money is an automatic process. It comes to you when you deliver good things in life. It comes to you when you think of your profession. The money is a byproduct. It is automatic. But when you start a profession by calculating how much money will you earn, the projection, the project report, in 2 years, 3 years, this much money will come, that much money will come. This is the projection. I've seen all these organizations failing. The projections are what can we deliver to the customer? What can be the best thing that you can do for your customer? The money becomes absolutely automatic. Absolutely automatic. You have to focus on the delivery rather than what you're getting back for it. Whatever you get back is when, it's not, you don't have to think about it. It's just like a river. The difference between the taste of the water in the river and the water in the sea is that river is giving and sea is taking. When you take things, you become bitter, you become salty. And when you give things, you become extremely, extremely sweet. All the rivers are giving waters to the seas, and the rivers are tasty, and the sea water is very, very salty. When you want to give everything to everyone, that is the time you are blessed. And when you want to take everything from everyone, that is the time you are cursed. If the God is not coming to curse you, it is the Mother Nature who's going to curse you. Trust me. You're not going to make it where you want to. That is why when you have Rahu in the eighth house, you want to learn all the Jyotisha, you want to learn all the hidden secrets of life, but the effort for that particular thing is less. Your heart knows, your brain knows that effort which should come for achieving a particular, occult sciences or particular knowledge is less. You are there, but you're not there. You're there, you're almost listening to your guru, to your teacher, but the practical implementation of these things would be less. However, when it comes to wealth, you are going to take some decisions which are going to make you super brave. I've seen huge entrepreneurs having mega plants have Ketu in the second house. Because as an ordinary person, if you're doing a 9 to 5 job or you are into a government job, you will never ever think of, of creating a steel plant. You will never ever think of creating maybe manufacturing sugar from the sugar cane. You will never ever think of maybe buying, 10 acres of land for mining. You will not be able to take that much of risk, but that comes with Ketu in the second house. And if you have Ketu in the eighth house, you are super brave about your Jyotisha. You will pick up a concept and you will try to learn a concept that is very, very difficult for others, that people will not even touch. You will touch it if you have Ketu in the eighth house, because now you're going to become super, super brave about that particular bhava. Imagine having Rahu in the third house and Ketu in the fifth house. You are super brave about spirituality, father, teacher, guru. You're super brave. You are going to die for your dharma. You will give your life. You can take life for your dharma. But when you have Rahu in the third house, you want to start a lot of new startups. You want to do this, you want to do that. I'll open up that company. I'll have that collaboration. I'll make these people partner. You're taking your car and doing 500 kilometers every day, meeting people, selecting right candidates. But the moment you see a difficult situation, your mind would say, let me finish this business. I'm not going to run this. Let me give up on this business. Ye mere se nahi hoga. I will not be able to do it. So you made 1,000 plans. You met 2,000 people. You did 3,000 meetings. But the time you got a difficult situation, you just gave up. That's Rahu in the third house. You want your brothers and sisters around you, but you'll not be able to help them. You're very possessive about, your siblings. But when they say, okay, I need 50 lakh rupees, I have this, this ABC problem in my life, you just run away from that situation because Rahu will not fight for it. Of course, if there's a Jupiter Drishti or a Mangal Drishti or a Shani Drishti, the things will change, which I'm going to teach you in the coming lectures. If there's an association with the Graha, the things are going to change. But these are basic principles that you people should know. The people you should understand. Look at Rahu, or you can vice versa, Ketu and Rahu, in the third and the ninth. You are pretending to be very, very spiritual. You're respecting dharma. You're respecting everyone, but you are not very spiritual from inside. It is a Maranakarak Sthan for Rahu. You are like that Swar Bhanu. You are dressed like a ISKCON devotee. You have tilak, you have mala, but you are not the ISKCON devotee. You're not that Krishna devotee. You are a very, very different person in the morning and a very, very different person in the night when you have Rahu in the ninth house. You can be doing your malas in the morning, visiting temples, having that tilak, and at 8:30, 9 o'clock, you will have your drinks. That's Rahu in the ninth house. From Monday to Saturday, you will do everything that Krishna doesn't like. You will do everything that Shiva doesn't like. And on Sunday, you go to Shiva temple, you go to Krishna temple, you do your prayers and you do your malas. Well, that's what Rahu does in the ninth house. It is not making an effort to be religious. He is religious, but is not making an effort to be religious. But if you have Rahu in the Mula Trikona here, or you have Rahu here in, aspected by a set of planets, you can also become extremely spiritual. You see, there's a meaning to every statement and every combination in Jyotisha. Nothing is good, nothing is bad, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. I keep saying these things. Look at 5th and 11th. Whenever you have Rahu or Ketu in 5-11 axis, I consider these people to be the most intelligent people of this universe. Because somehow they are making a very, very strong Saraswati Yoga, 511 axis. I'll teach you someday that to be extremely intelligent, you must have a planet either in the fifth house or in the 11th house, opposite to each other. There should be a planet. There should be at least one planet in the fifth and one planet in the 11th house to see, to give a blind prediction that this person is super intelligent. You have to have at least that combination. And if you have Rahu in the fifth house, you are possessive about your children, about your love life, about your romance, about your education. But what you miss is when you are in a difficult situation, you're not going to fight for something that you are so possessive. Be it education, be it children, be it love, be it romance, be it anything. But on the same time, you're going to become extremely headless about society. You're going to become extremely headless about Samaj, about Guru Charan, brave about society and Samaj. You will consider yourself super brave, but that super bravery is also headlessness. People might think that you are a headless person. You will not think before doing anything. You are a dangerous person. That's what Ketu can do in the 11th house. But on the same time, we and I are living in an outer world. If you have Rahu here in the fifth house and Ketu here, you are super brave about your love, children, romance, your education. You're going to change education. You can change your stream. You did non-medical till 12th and you did BA in the in public administration in your graduation and your undergraduation. That's what Ketu can do in the fifth house. It is going to change streams. It can change what you're doing. You will be very, very brave about that particular situation. Super brave. But Rahu in the 11th house? Well. You want to earn money from shares. You want to earn, you want to fulfill all the hopes, wishes, and desires. You're going to find ways. Rather than make a way, you will try to find way. Let me find a way which is created by others and let me walk on that way and earn millions and millions of rupees. That's where the problem is. That's where your Rahu Ketu is actually killing you. What about Rahu in the sixth house and Ketu in the 12th house? It is technically a good position. It's technically a very, very good position. Because Rahu here is not going to fight with the enemies. Sixth house is competition and enemies. He's going to play smart. And this is the demand of Kali Yuga. If you are a businessman will never fight. He will always find the ways to run away from a given situation and then come back and earn again. Rahu in the sixth house will not put himself in a conversation. People who are very straight, they will put themselves in a conversation and they get fired. They get problems in life. Rahu in the sixth house is a smart Rahu. He will not put himself into conversations just like that. He's an intelligent Rahu. Here he gets directional strength. Digbala. I'll teach you what is a Digbala in the coming lectures. But just keep listening. Keep your whiteboard very, very clean for me so that I can write few things and you can take those few things. I want you people to be headless about me because I was headless for my gurus. That is the reason I was able to touch something, touch little bit of Jyotish. Navneet, come. We'll teach you some Jyotish. And I sat like an innocent student and I learned. That's what is required to learn Jyotisha. And Ketu in the 12th house is going to make you super brave about your losses. You're just free soul. You're not scared of losing anything in your life. Let it go. Let it go. And when you have that capability, that mindset of let it go, you are very close to the moksha. That is why people keep saying, oh, when you have Ketu in the 12th house, you're close to the moksha. Why the hell you're close to the moksha? Because you are super brave about your losses. You're not scared about your losses. Let be, fine. But if you have Ketu in the 6th house, you are going to kill your enemies. You are going to fight that competition with Ketu in the 6th house. You are not going to let this thing go. You're not. Ketu in the 6th house is brave, just like Ketu in the 10th house is very, very brave for the profession. You are going to give a hard time to your enemy if you have Ketu in the 6th house. I must tell you. You are a fighter. You're going to headless fight a situation. You understand? Look at your chart now. Look at where your Rahu is. That is your possessiveness in your horoscope. And look at your Ketu. That is your super bravery in your horoscope. Let's discuss. Who would want to discuss? I'm not going to make his or her chart, but I want to understand what have you learned from my continuous speaking of last 15 minutes. What did you learn about your chart? What did you learn? Did you analyze something about your chart where you can't leave certain things in your life? That's where Rahu is. And where you can leave everything, that's where your Ketu is. Yes, Pratima. What is one thing that you want to discuss here?
So I have Ketu in my 5th house.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have a very good love life. So I
You're
think I'm
brave.
very proud of that.
You're super brave about it.
And I have a Rahu in 11th though. So I think I want comfort, but at the same time I also want, like security in term of financial. So I think that's where Rahu plays for me.
Possessiveness, you can't leave that income, that money, in the 11th house. But I must tell you, Pratima, that 11th house is also Guru Charan. These are the lotus feet of your Guru. So if once you are in the feet of your Guru, you will be so possessive about your teacher, about your Guru, that you're never ever gonna leave them.
Okay. That's
That's
good.
also something which is there in the 11th house. That is why I said there is nothing good, nothing bad. Everything has a meaning.
Right. And like I have a question in the same, since it's 5th house is also the house for like a kid, right? So what will be the
House
impact
for
of
what?
for kids, child,
For children, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So what will be the impact of Ketu being there in 5th house?
You're headless about your children. You would want them to do certain things that they don't want. You can be very, very brave about them. You can be very strong about them. That's what Ketu does in the 5th house. You are a super brave mother. And at times I've seen if the planets doesn't support, people take that frame of mind where they don't want children. It's okay, well, let's not have children. Or if you have it, you're very, very strong. You're very, very, powerful about children. You can be headless for your children. Maybe children are young, they don't realize it, but when they are in their 20s, you can ask them, they can tell that my parents have taken certain headless decisions on us. That's when you find Ketu in the 5th house. Wherever you have Ketu, you're brave about that particular area of life. You are headless about that area of life. And that headless can be headless love. That can be headless dedication. I just said that when you are dedicated to someone, you need to be headless. I've seen such people who become completely dedicated to their children with Ketu in the 5th house because they are not listening, not thinking, not watching, but they are just dedicated. Okay? Yes, Preeti.
That's good. Thank you so much, Guru.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yes.
Guruji, I have Ketu in the Lagna, first house, and Rahu in the 7th house.
Okay.
So, yes, when it comes to Vivek, my husband, I am bit okay, fine. Whatever he has said, I will not put my head to it and I will agree to it. And yes, I am possessive when it comes to my husband. Ketu in Lagna, yes. Okay, fine. Whatever has come into my life, okay, ठीक है, हम बीमार हुए थे, फिर तो I have faced it headstrong. Okay, नहीं मेरे को ठीक होना है, नहीं मेरे को transform करना है, नहीं मेरे को weight loss करना है. So yes, when it comes to me facing something, I am strong. I face it head on.
Yeah, perfect. So that's the story of Rahu Ketu. So, when you've learned this thing, you will learn so many things.
तो इन मतलब लाइक जब मैच मेकिंग हुआ था हम लोगों का, तो हम लोगों का गण इतना मिला नहीं था, पर somehow like when you say ना कि अगर आप योर फ्रेंड्स, तो वी आर लाइक फ्रेंड्स कि हम लोगों का बढ़िया चल रहा है, मी एंड माय हस्बैंड. तो आई थिंक ये 7th हाउस राहु का कारण हो सकता है.
Correct. So someone wants to tell a story. Rashmi ji, you want to tell a story? Please tell.
Yes, sir, Pranam. Lovely session, sir, because this is really close to my heart regarding Ketu. My kid, when he was born, now he's 8 years old and he's a special child. And my Ketu is in 5th house, and my life has completely turned upside down. And I took all the bravest decisions regarding him, even when the doctors all over the country said to give up on him. So, and now I'm into complete spiritual line because of him only, because I do whatever is required to make him healthy. So
Okay.
definitely.
You're a brave mother.
And in fact, I have sacrificed my marriage for that because my partner was not ready to accept him. So I was just okay.
Yeah,
So I
sorry about
think
that. Yeah. 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 All right. Good luck. Yeah, Ashish, you want to say something?
thank you.
Yes, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Yeah, I have experienced that I have Saturn and Ketu conjunction in my 5th house.
Okay.
And I believe I have been learning new skills, and I have been very much brave about my children as well. And I have been going too slow. I don't want to run fast and go very fast. I want to learn with the experience that Saturn is telling that I want to go slow and I want to be the best.
Hmm.
I don't want to go as much as fast as I can because Ketu is giving me a brave position. Whatever skills I learn, one thing I have, just I want to deliver. I cannot just want to take something. I just want to deliver. Whether I get profits or losses, that's another thing. But my first priority is to deliver. That I want to deliver. I want to give. Because until and unless I will not give, I will not get in return.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's how it is.
But
I
on the other
personally consider Saturn and Ketu to be known as Rishi Yoga. It makes a person extremely spiritual, and I've seen this in the horoscopes of many, many spiritually enlightened people. And a lot of people can call it as a Shrapit Yoga, but according to me, I believe it to be a very good yoga for being an astrology student.
And Guruji, on the other hand, Venus and Rahu conjunction in the 11th house.
Yeah.
That's where I got a bit confused. I was looking for shares trading, but I think my mind is so much aware of that when I take a decision or consultation that I have to invest today, then I go. But before doing that, first on the priority on first and every morning, I first check out the nakshatras as well. That whether this is the best time to invest or not. If it is supporting, then I do. If it is not supporting, maybe I could get huge profits. I will stop that and I will not go beyond that.
That's Rahu Venus combination, always thinking, that's what it is. So I think you understood what I'm trying to teach you. Well done. Right. Yeah, Rituji, you want to say
So,
something?
Guruji, what I believe Venus is debilitated as well. So, will it affect the marriage life as well?
It can definitely affect. We'll have to check that. It can definitely affect the married life. Venus Rahu has ability to hit the married life. But then we'll have to check other combinations, and we'll have to check the position of Venus in the Navamsha. That becomes very, very crucial and critical under such situations.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yes, Ritu.
Guruji, yeah, even I have Rahu in fourth house and I have Ketu in 10th house. So recently, my husband he just got transferred, and I was also working. But then I took a decision, like because now I decided to resign and go with him and follow my passion. Like I wanted to learn Jyotish since long. I don't know whether I can do it as a profession or not, but I thought that I will now learn Jyotish, and so I have just with that aim I have resigned my job. So maybe I'll not be working full time, but I will focus on Jyotish, learning Jyotish.
That's making super brave. Yeah, that is a super brave decision in the profession. Right. Well done. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Simon, you want to say something?
Yes, Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
I have a Rahu in the sixth house, Aries, and I can relate to me being obsessed with work,
Yeah.
but then running away from conflicts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have Ketu in the 12th in Libra, conjunct Venus. So
Yeah.
I can totally dedicate myself to spirituality, to you know,
To
trying
moksha.
to find that moksha. Yes, trying to find the path to moksha, exactly. So, and then also I just want to mention I have in Navamsha, in Lagna, Ketu, Saturn, and Venus conjunct. So I guess that's also kind of connects to the Rashi chart.
Yeah. 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 Well done. So you see, by learning small, such principles, by just learning and understanding, about certain planets, how much can you know about a horoscope? How much can you know? How much, simple thing. I mean, if someone asks you today, where is your weakness and where is your strength? You have the answer, isn't? Someone just asks you, tell me, what is my weakness in my chart? Wherever your Rahu is, that is your weakness. And wherever your Ketu is, that is your strength. Isn't? Simple answers. And you know what? This is one question that is asked in 90% of the consultations. Guruji, tell me what is my weakness and what is my strength. And you know how to analyze it today. Yes, Ravi, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Guruji. Awesome session as always. Great to hear from you. Whatever you say, it flows through the mind like anything. Guruji, I have fourth house Ketu and 10th house Rahu. So I can completely relate to what you said. Fourth house being a house of family, and you are completely dedicated to family and always fighting for the family. And 10th house Rahu. But Guruji, I have Jupiter along with it. So does it impact, because my career does fluctuate, like you said, you will run away
Certainly.
where
Yeah, it makes a Guru Chandali. So definitely, or if it is with Ketu, it makes a Dhwaj Yoga. So definitely it, makes a lot of difference. And, when we learn conjunctions, right? So you'll understand how this is making an impact. And, under these circumstances, we'll have to check whether it is neutralizing Rahu or it is neutralizing Jupiter, this particular combination. Who is more strong? So I'll teach you that if you have 3 or 4 planets in a particular bhava, so I make you learn that how to find out which of them is the strongest one, right?
Guruji, but I'm sorry to interrupt. I had one extended question to it.
Yeah.
So, like I have fluctuating profession. So, but I want Jyotisha to be my profession in future, if by God's grace and your blessings. So, will I run away from that profession as well, or we can build on that stability with
No, we
whatever?
can definitely build on the stability by doing the Panchadevata Puja. The Panchadevata Puja that I gave you in the beginning, it is going to give tons of stability to every single person who is learning Jyotisha. He's not going to run away.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Ashirwad. Yes, Chitra, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I have Ketu in my second house and I have Rahu in my eighth house. So I never ever let my in-laws go मतलब away. मैं उनको नहीं छोड़ सकती कभी भी, never ever. And I'm super brave about my family, about my surroundings around me. So yes, I relate to this. And in Navamsha, it is just opposite. And my Ketu is with Jupiter. तो आपने अभी बताया ना गुरुजी ध्वज योगा बनाता है ये,
जी
तो यस गुरुजी, आई एम सुपर ब्रेव अबाउट माय फैमिली. और इसको अपोजिट करेंगे तो आई विल नॉट लीव द ज्योतिषा बिकॉज इन नवामशा केतु इन द 8th हाउस occult sciences. And
जी
yes guruji, this is very very true.
yeah, chalo. Very nice. That yes, Horish, you want to say something or discuss something? You are on mute, I guess. Please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yeah, Hare
I have
Krishna.
my Rahu in the first house.
Yeah,
So I'm not married, so I cannot tell anything about the Ketu as of now. So,
yeah,
but nor I had a business partner, so I cannot tell anything about Ketu from my experience. But with Rahu,
yeah.
it could be that probably, I mean, I'm proud about my intelligence, but when it comes to displaying my intelligence or a situation where I have to show my absolute intelligence, I always fail and I'm so scared about it, or I don't want to show it, or I always keep myself quiet or something. Is it
That's what
the
Rahu is in the Lagna. So you need to be a Devi Upasak. Om, Aim, Hrim, Klim, Chamundai, which is the mantra for you if you have Rahu in the Lagna. That's where, you can, actually improve your Rahu in the Lagna. So try to become a Durga Devi sadhak. You have these Navratris coming. So try to fast on all the 9 Navratris and be sattvic. That is going to really, really help you.
okay? So this will reduce my anxiety with. I mean, I'm scared of my own intelligence, so I think how people will judge me or
Yes,
something like
that's
that.
where the Rahu is, that you want everything but still want to run away, from that situation. You cannot portray it. That's what Rahu
So
does
the
in the
thing,
Lagna.
yeah, I just wanted to know, will I have it in the first place, or it's just my illusion that I'm intelligent? That's just
No,
my question.
you are intelligent. All that is you have to believe in that.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Deepika ji, you want to say something?
Yeah, Guruji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Guruji, does it also, we should also see the nakshatra it is in, or does it
First,
impact as well?
nakshatra will
Even
give you the flavor because you're learning a nakshatra. User will give you the flavor of that as well.
okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Okay, great. So that's it for today.